Alright, hello and welcome. Turn my speakers down. Yeah, welcome to another Saturday night. Let's see if I can get this thing. It's not showing me the chat. Welcome Kevin, if you're still here. Yeah, currently right now, I mean, just gonna do some basic maintenance and kind of like we do every Saturday night. But I am gonna put in a dedicated power supply for the K280 right here. Got a dual voltage. It's a 12 volt and 5 volt out mini power supply. Since the main system is a 24 volt, so that we can get basically a dedicated one for the future LEDs as soon as I print out a good mount, figure out where I'm going to place them, but then tie in the Raspberry Pi that's in it. I think I'm going to try to actually just let it be powered by the GPIO pins this time. Let's see if I can get that. It's a 5 volt 3 amp, so should be more than enough. And then try to maybe do some design work on a camera mount that I got to redo for the K280 because I swapped out the cameras, and then also maybe work on a little bit of the new dual extruder part cooling that I've been kind of playing around with, seeing if I can get better quality, because Tinkercad is kind of not able to hold its own anymore for me. For what I'm trying to do, Tinkercad, either I can't figure it out, or it's just becoming a little too difficult. So I'm going to import what I've already done and then see how much damage there is of, can I fix it, or do I gotta like completely redo it? I don't know, but it's kind of on the agenda tonight. So yeah, I guess we'll get started. I'm not sure. Let's see if this. Let's see if this is actually gonna start popping up everywhere. There we go. Okay, so my chatbot is working. It's weird that it would be acting so off. Where's my timers? Okay, so they're all there. Welcome, Tony. Yeah, I actually caught a little bit of your stream earlier when you were modeling some parts. I was trying to get some pointers, but then the kids kept jumping in and distracting me, so made it a little bit harder than I was thinking to try to design some stuff. Let's see if go over before I hit everybody up on it. Let's see if the new, I gotta reboot the Pi cam or not. And then did I think I finally got the overseer to start doing what it's supposed to do, but I don't know for sure. The fan just like dropped down in noise. That was weird. Got stuff like all laid out on the workbench here. Oh. Hard to do overseer when your desktop computer that runs it is not on. Oh, sorry to hear. Yeah, there always seems to be some weird issues with YouTube here lately. It's been having a lot of issues, actually. What do you mean you don't know my username? Come on, there we go. Earlier I tripped the power trying to put the AC lines on this power supply. I don't know. I had the actual switch off, so I don't know how it tripped it, but that's the only thing I was moving, so I know I tripped it. I just don't know how that's even possible. I mean, the wireless modules that's behind me, that was turned off, so there's no supplied power going to the printer itself. I had no lights on. The only thing that was on was the Pi, but it's being fed separately right at the moment. And I was trying to wire it up, and all of a sudden my whole office went dead. And so I knew I tripped the breaker, but I don't know how I tripped it. Why is my desktop? There it goes. Now my desktop is finally booting up. Come on. Nice. Country 3D getting a bunch of things going now. Now they hit that 1K mark, he's definitely taking off. Alright, start headless. Start headless. So I actually run, in case it was the first time being here, but I run the filament database and my overseer both in a virtual Pi. One is technically not really a Pi virtual because it is based off of Arch Linux, and it's doing more of just a virtual, just straight like desktop Linux environment. But the overseer is watching it based off of a virtual Debian Linux build. Seems to work out pretty decent, as long as it actually runs. Alright, so there's the load. Okay, unauthorized access attempt. I don't understand how, but sure. Okay, now that that's working, let's see if I can send it to you guys so you can see. Why are you doing this? Machines, users. May have to fire up the old one. Wow. Alrighty, so that's not going to work for you guys. Alright, so let's shut that down and start up the other one. Sorry, kind of getting a little bit of late start there. Nice. Yeah, I was seeing a little bit of what you were doing, but I guess I caught it right at the very end. You were starting to put the triangle piece in the big hole. That's like where I caught it, but I'm guessing that was for the modified fan duct. Okay. I mean, unknown error occurred. I guess it doesn't want to play nice tonight. And I'm guessing the K280 is probably going to be... Okay, so the camera feed is going to start coming in. It's just all messed up right at the moment. Kevin, not so much. I mean, we're just... had some camera issues, so trying to get them sorted out. Alright, one. Alright, so I don't know. Oh, that's completely upside down for you guys. I don't know how well that's going to be in focus. Come on. Focus. Really? You're gonna act like that now? Alright, it's hard to see and I can't get this camera to focus for whatever reason. But this mini power supply actually comes with a 12 volt and 5 volt. And then there's a 5 volt adjustment. 12 volt is running just a hair shy. It's actually at a 11.8, so I can deal with that because that's actually going to be running just the LED strips. And it's a 3 amp on the 12 volt, and it's actually a 4 amp for the 5 volt. So that's what I'm going to tie the Pi in. I'm going to try to do by GPIO. And then currently I have this messed up old mount at the end, and I got to get the new adapter piece going, so hopefully this isn't too crazy. Hopefully it doesn't drop off too much, but yeah. Hit your computer like it has for, yeah, sometimes it works. Sometimes not so much. Let's try this one more time with Overseer. Yeah, okay, so it's just gonna give me all kind of hell tonight. That's alright. Works on my desktop, so if need be, I could just do that and show you guys all 4 screens on the desktop. So yeah, I gotta like fix all my camera mounts because they all went to crap. But shoot, Kevin, what's the question? Oh, vanes to direct the error in the duct. Okay, that sounds good, Tony. And I'll actually bring up the other cooling block that I'm looking at. Yes, you can. You can use your really any desktop ATX power supply. There's actually a setting in Marlin firmware that you can identify that, so you can get a little bit more functionality, though that part is kind of debatable. I haven't personally done it, but I know you can clip a lot of the lines. Your black is obviously going to be your common return, or your negative, depending on how you want to really word it. And then your yellow lines should all be the 12 volt. And then your red lines, if I remember correctly, are your 5 volt. But you can also tie in the standby power. I think it's orange, if I remember correctly. And you can tie that in on the GPIO pins on the Pi and make it where it's as soon as you have the wall plug into the power supply, it's supplying power to the Pi, which I would love to do, but I don't want to like completely rebuild everything I've got. Yeah, and then, well, the black and green in the ATX switch, or the master plug, you have to bridge in order to make it believe that the power switch has been activated. So when you, like, if it's the power supply that has the power switch on it, like they should, or if it's one that has nothing, then that would be the signal that you click the power on button on a PC and it starts up the process to supply the power. So they're not, I mean, one's a signal wire and the black is the ground, so, or negative, not ground, sorry. The black is the common or negative line. So if you bridge those two, then the green is getting a loop signal thinking that the power button has been swapped. What's up, Bubba? All right, love you too, Bubba. You going to bed? Or are you just getting ready?
I'm just getting ready.
Okay. So, let me swap over to the Max real quick. Max main cam, there you go. So this is I've got it tagged. And essentially this is what I was trying to do so that on the dual extruder it hits both fans mounted. And then, my other piece broke off. But anyway, it would sit like this being the front edge. And then I had to break off the piece to measure it, but basically it's a angled piece, or a triangle, I should say, that makes a shelf down, so you can push it up into right below the fan that's on the factory E2 mount, which I don't know if you can, no, you can't see it right now. So that, one, it's deflecting any of the cold end, you know, extruder fan, however you want to word it. So it's deflecting that from going down to your part. But then connecting, instead of just two little pieces on either side, which essentially this is what they give you, is just, you know, two independent pieces, each blowing from the side, but that I'm adding a wind tunnel cavity that goes from the, you know, each line all the way through here, and then it's got a deflector in the middle to kind of arc both pieces. And I made it a smooth path. It's got like support line in between to keep the bridging to a minimum. It worked great, except for the very front, as you can see, got melted because it was a little too close. So I went to extend it a little further, and then now the next one doesn't even fit at all. So I don't know what is going on. And this was all in Tinkercad. So I'm hoping that Fusion can do a lot better and I can get an actual, like, I don't know, I was kind of hoping for a circular, like almost a pipe all the way through it so that it doesn't even need center pin support, so it's just a smoother channel, and with it being curved, you know, that'll help prevent any drooping and anything else that could block the airflow. But then I was also told that what might be good is to connect on this side down here, go across, and make another air channel to come to the front. The only problem is this already hangs down, and like the nozzle will sit on the back end. It still comes down where you can see it underneath it, but it's got to be such a long, like, pipe to come down that I don't really know how to design it where it'll be functional and work well. I've never used Blender yet. There's so many programs that I want to. I'm not really a designer per se. You can give me a part. I can do the firmware pretty easy. I can do a lot of the other things. I set up a couple different you know, Octoprints. I'm doing virtual ones. Doing just the mods that are already, you know, done for the different printers.
Hi.
All right, go ahead. I actually, for a Blink Sync module, created this whole thing instead of buying one on Amazon. I've been playing around with it, trying to figure it out. And of course, they don't make it easy when all of a sudden, like, you have a normal curve, but then one ends up having a large curve because it's got a USB port right by it, and it jacks up the whole design. So yeah, that was not a lot of fun either. Did I not turn? Oh, I didn't even turn on my. Got to turn on the Tronxy. Ah, okay. So I guess kinda I need to stay away from Blender since I'm not really doing either one of those. Yes.
Can you turn on your iTunes?
Yes, I can.
But
what?
the internet is lost.
What do you mean the internet is lost?
We clicked it.
You clicked for iTunes?
No, we clicked inside the big computer, and then we tried to watch the games, but it wasn't.
But that's not the internet, that's the iTunes, just like your brother asked. So it should be up and running now. Is it working? Alright. Yeah, and this desktop also does my centralized iTunes library for all of our Apple TVs. So when it doesn't work, like I tripped the power and I completely forgot to turn on my desktop, so. Come on, stop asking me to download stuff. Some of these programs nowadays are just a little too invasive. Evening, Vince. Blender can export into almost any file format you could possibly use. Huh. Well, I've heard people use Blender to fix some STLs. So I believe it should just be able to re-export back as an STL. So then you can go from there. But alright, let me bring this. And then I still got, let's see, I've got my Blink Sync holder, the hot end cooler, a new Pi holder for my E10, the Pi camera holder, which is why it was looking, I don't know if you can see it right here. The screw gave out on the bed clamp and it's not lining up, so I've got to like redo the whole thing because it's a pain in the butt. Bring the bed up here. See if I can get this thing. Alright, let me see if I can get this thing in. Oh, what kind of a 3D printer do you get? See if I can get this stupid thing in frame. Alright. Nope, that's not enough. Alright. Nope, that's too far. Wrong direction. Alright, so that hopefully you can see. So right now it doesn't have anything because I took the part off, but that's what it kind of looks like. Get the bed out of the way. So as you see, it doesn't have anything. Let me put on that. So this is the factory clip that they give you, and that's about what it does, right? Lines up there, and then it lines up here. But then they have this big cavity all right in here, between the heat block and the bottom of the fan. And then I don't know if you can see in the fan. No, probably not. But anyway, I can reach up right into the front edge of this fan. So with my part that I'm trying to make, we'll do this. It'll fit like that, and as you can see, you can still see the nozzle protruding through the bottom. It's about 2 millimeters. But then it'll also, like I said, it tightens up that air cavity so that both are blowing, you know, not only just the normal side to side, but they're both projecting into the back. And like I said, I've been hearing some suggestions of making a front one as well, but that one's a little harder for me. But then it's got a big triangle that'll go up to right below the fan at an angle so that it still leaves the void on the bottom side, but it's a flat shelf directly underneath the fan, so that as you know the extruder fan is blowing in, it'll hit that top shelf, force it more directly at the cold block, and then just shoot off to the sides or through the back little tunnel towards the back end, and not towards your print, so that somebody could use this to say print ABS, and you can have the fan off, but then you don't have to worry about the cold end fan or the extruder fan still blowing on your part, or even for PETG, so you don't have to worry about that weird extra draft than what you were trying to use. So that's kind of the thought behind it. So I'm trying to play around with it, plus learning more with Tinkercad and Fusion. Trunksy 400. Okay. Oh, you got the X5S 400. Cool. So I don't know if it was the SA with the auto level or the ST with the touch screen, then you'll have the G2 or Chit2 firmware, and it's a closed source board, but you can make most of your modifications all through G-code, and it's their custom G-code, but you can change the steps, whether it's an HBot or Core XY. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can reset all through it. And actually, we're in talks with Scott. I got a notice from Chit2 that they sent the final fixed firmware to Tronxy to release. That, like, the biggest complaint I have with this is because of the closed source in Octoprint. And I can show you, hopefully. No, not on that screen. Let me go to my desktop view. So in Octoprint, like, you have the, you know, your standard tool, but when you request a temperature, this target temp shows the same as the bed temperature. And the best way to show it, I guess, is here in terminal. So I don't know if you can see that. So bed is, well, no, you won't be able to really see unless I load a part. Here, let's do, yeah, there's that one. Preheat. Okay, if you see, it's spiked up right here to go to 215 that I want, and then it drops all the way back down, but then the target temperature matches what we want the bed target temperature to be. And even in the terminal, so it says the tool and the target temperature, which is fine, but then, you know, bed temperature, target, and, you know, the current, and I bet you can't even see that right now at all. Here, let me, come on, why can't you zoom in? Alright. Hopefully you can see that now. Ah! That's not good. Alright, let me go 200. My name, baby girl. Watch your show. Okay. Apparently Chrome wants to mess with me. There we go. Alright. So yeah. The tool on this one, it was 63, target 215. bed 26, you know, target 60. But then it jumps to tool 0 and it says that the target is now 60 again, and then tool 1 says target of 0. So they went to try to figure this out, and they said they released the updated firmware now. So now I'm just trying to figure out how to get a hold of it. Yeah, sure, not a problem. I can help you set up Octoprint. I've had a couple of people actually do this, and honestly, the weirdest thing was it wasn't working for days. Like as soon as I did the upgrade, and then all of a sudden one day, I don't know after how many reboots that I tried to do, all of a sudden it just started talking to it. And I don't know exactly what I changed, but like I said, I've had it work this whole time now. Haven't had any other issues with it. So, I mean, I'll troubleshoot with you. It's not a problem. These are still running the older, just the 1310 on the 15.1 set. So the newest version that's out right now of Octoprint, I haven't upgraded to. So I may end up doing a full clean load on this one, just to help out everybody to make sure that, you know, what it's doing. But I want to make sure that I have this version saved first. I think I still have it downloaded so that I can redo this one if need be. But yeah, let's see. This other camera is not wanting to work for whatever reason. Come on. I think it might be this USB cable. Let's see if it works over here. I can even hear Windows beep. Hey, Carl. Yes. Kevin, I would definitely say having a 3D printing has been pretty cool. Though I might not have started per se on that model. Only because it's my very first time on a Core XY when I first bought the X5S, and it was just the standard X5S, the 330 by 330 by 400. I was down for almost a year. Now, a lot of that was because I was running too fast on trying to do upgrade, and get it perfect, like straight out the gate, and I didn't know what I was doing. It was my first Core XY, but yeah. I mean, now that I've got it working really well, excuse me, it was working top notch right before I upgraded it to the dual extruder version. So it's to the Chit 2 firmware and, you know, some of the other stuff. Okay, so if that's the case, if this is the correct picture, you got just the X5S 400. Okay, so that's going to be the factory board, open sourced. You can put Marlin on it, no problem. I was running Marlin 2.0 with no issues. So if you want that firmware, I could send you to it. The only thing you'd have to just change is the bed size, really, to 400, because it already had a few mods on there, like what I've done, which is kind of out of frame right at the moment. But I've done a few to get actually out of my 400 height. I can actually print at 415. But yeah, I had it running pretty good under that, and I've still got the factory board, everything, and that's actually what I'm going to put into my kids' printer once I finally get all the parts printed for it. So, but yeah, that's not a bad. That's honestly right about what I paid for my regular X5S. So That's not bad that they've come down. But don't believe the hype of that 713, because that's just a gimmick that they're trying to do to get you to think you're getting a super awesome deal. And you're, but that's about the right price for it, though. That's the funny part. Wow, Banggood is gonna sell this to me if I wanted to buy it and ship it to the U.S. for $1.30. That's hilarious. Shipping time only 7 to 20 business days. That's coming from the China warehouse. That's hilarious. So you lucked out that it said it was coming from... Did you say it was coming from a U.S.? Yeah. They fluctuate a lot. That they do. The only other thing that I was going to buy at one point, though I still may, is the plumber's felt, I think is what it was called. The insulation that is already pre-cut for the Tronxy bed, so you can basically just slap it right on, put a little bit of Kapton tape or whatever right around it, and been done. Sure, Carl. What kind of project? I don't know if we can even... I wish this other camera would work. See if it'll do K280 camera. There we go. I guess we'll just do this a bit. Get this out of the way. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. All right, so that's the actual... power supply, the new one. Let's see, this is a good amount for a test strip. Let's get some wire for testing. Okay. This is the 12-volt line. Oh, man. Tighten these screws down. Volt. Common. All right. That's an idea. Huh. Yeah, that'll happen, Kevin. I think the first time, well, there's also a lot of drama with this K280, but I ended up finding it. It said it was a U.S. warehouse for a pretty awesome price. And then I went to the host company website, and they were selling the exact same thing because it's their printer for $90 cheaper because it was on this super expedited from China warehouse shipping would have been the $90. So I fought them to get the $90 difference taken back, because I was like, you already shipped it to the US. Why would I pay you, you know, the extra $90 for shipping into the price that you've already shipped? Like, I could have just bought it from the other guys for the exact same price and paid less for the unit itself. And they said they were doing a whole price matching thing, but through the craziness of them and PayPal, I ended up getting the whole printer for free anyway, because rather than just give me a $90 difference, they kept lying and lying even to PayPal, so they ended up giving it to me for free. So I guess I lucked out on that one. Alright, that's hooked up, that's hooked up. Let me get this back in there. One piece. Nope, that was the wrong version. Why am I getting this wrong? There we go. There we go. Nice. That down. Okay. Alright, let's fire this up and we'll do a LED quick test. Alright. There it goes, booting up. Let's test the script. Alright, so there's the negative. Sweet. One final test, because I want to make sure I didn't burn out any of these LEDs before, because I've bent this strip pretty bad. Dude, why are you sliding around? Stop. Stay right on the path. Come on now. Now I can see this whole shirt. Alright, good. Alright. So yeah, this is actually a strip of UV LEDs. Let me see if I can get... Alright, we'll go to the E10. So yeah, it's showing the light. So I've got regular LEDs on that strip. And then I got to set the UV up there so that while I'm printing I can actually charge up any of the glow-in-the-darks. And then actually most of the green that's on that one is glow-in-the-dark as well. So that's awesome. Alright, so let's see. High power GPIO. I can't spell I/O. Apparently I'm doing GPOI. Alright, let's see. Evening, Kit. Sorry I didn't see you pop in there. Glue together, then fill from top, Prusa style. Yeah, Carl. So it depends on what kind of printer, I guess, you want to try to do. So I found a Core 88 XY conversion, or Core XY 88 conversion. But it was using like Home Depot square tubing, or 1-inch square tubing. And I was like, hey, I can print that. And it comes out to about, if you figure up just the tubing, you'd need like just shy of 2 kilograms. So I ended up ordering 3 just in case. And then the parts, even before the tubing, the parts were having an issue. So then I decided we're going to change this up and go more of the Tech 2C Hypercube style. And there's a lot more 2020 extrusion that you can print a lot easier. But yeah, you could even do that. I mean, you could just do a hollow, 2020 style in base mode, and then yeah, just fill it with plaster of Paris, I guess. That should make it rigid enough. Sounds pretty interesting. If you do decide to do that, let me know. Alright, where do you get... There you go. How to power GPIO. I don't want a pi hat. Alright, so 5-volt source to pin 2 and pin 6. Feed, be aware that there's no fuse protection or over voltage or current spikes. 50 by 50 for dimensions. Like print area? Ah, that's not a bad idea either. Huh. Alright, so the big question there, Tony Ryan, would you say, because I had a thought pop in my head, so if you're going to fill it with sand, let's say you did that playground sand, that fine so you can kind of pack it a little bit, would you use that, or... Oh, 50 by 50 instead of 20 by 20. Oh, okay. Man, that's some thick poles there. I mean, even Walter only did his country bow and his hypercube all printed frame for, he did a 30 by 30 extrusion profiles. I mean, he did, it actually has it like where he can put all the real parts in it. But yeah, what I was thinking is, what kind of sand would you use, for one? Two, if you're using sand, would it be good to, say, use maybe a diluted 50-50 mix, or even just, dollar store, only 50% rubbing alcohol to make it wet so that you can pack it better, but then because of the alcohol, it'll evaporate out and then leave it like solid? Or is that making it too solid and will not, or it'll enhance vibration versus what you're saying? Play sand would work fine. Cool. I guess, would it even be advisable to, if you're going to pack something with sand, like to even use, say, like rubbing alcohol as like a fluidy medium to get it to pack a little bit denser because it'll evaporate? Or is that just like a wrong amount of thinking on my part? Oh, okay, yeah. I guess I should probably wait until you can actually respond. Alright, so we're not going to do power over Ethernet. We're not going to do... a small Pi hat because they don't make one big enough for the Pi, and I don't really want to spend any more money. So should I chop a standard USB power cable? Like, say one that's not really that great, just chop that and then tie that directly into this power supply, you think? Or should I power it by GPIO? Because that kind of concerns me, saying that by doing it through the GPIO that there's no regulation or fuse protection to protect from over voltage or current spikes. That part kind of concerns me. Yeah, I mean, this article is saying that you could burn out some or all of the GPIO pins, or even fry the Pi if you don't get it under the voltage spike correctly. I don't really trust the power supply, honestly, at all, because it is just another cheap mill power supply, and it's the first one that I've seen that does both 12 volt and 5 volt, you know, 2 lines of output. So, and I was mainly getting it just because the K280 has a 24 volt power supply, and I have all 12 volt LEDs, so I didn't want to have to try to buy, you know, a 12 to 24 or 24 to 12 down step or anything like that. So, you know, I figured that would be the safest, is just get a small little dedicated power supply, and then that could be it. But welcome, Jake from State Farm. You got the khakis on? Man, what is going on? I'm getting skip frames like crazy. 2 minutes ago, every 2 minutes or so. That's bad. No pants tonight? Ooh. Be careful. Yeah, they are really cheap, but I didn't want to get a buck converter just to be able to do, well, excuse me. The initial thought was to do a buck converter 24 to 5 so that I could power the Pi in it, so it could be almost like a standalone printer that I can take somewhere, you know, especially like if I go to Murph and I was thinking of doing a table or something, then I would have something I could drop and it's got everything that I need on it, and then I've got my little portable power router that I could, you know, still connect and do my thing. But then I was like, well, but I want LEDs. So now I'm going to need another converter to go from 24 down. And I was like, why do 2 buck converters? So I got this little power supply because it does the 2 voltages that I need. And it was pretty cheap. I mean, that was only like $7 shipped. Never let the machines win. You are right. Greetings. Yeah, and I even still have. Oh, hey, there's my file that I was looking for. I even still have one of the DC converters, 12 in, 5 volt, 3 amp out. I mean, I've still got a spare one of these, but again, because it's a 24 volt power supply, I wasn't expecting that. I was thinking it was a 12 volt until I opened it, and it was like, oh no, it's a 24 volt. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I don't have anything that has that, so. Oh, all right. So I think we'll just take the USB cable and chop it. Where's my baggie of USB cables? Good. There we go. Some of my cribbity crap ones. Yep, there we go. Alright. So I need to go. Probably no more than that. I'll only cut very end off. That's all I really need. And we'll cut right there. Anybody remember which USB wires it is for power? I can't remember right offhand. It's just a white, I mean, it's red and black, isn't it? And then the white and green are the data lines. 30 volt and selectable. Oh, up to 30 volt in, selectable 12. That's interesting. Alright, what is it? Data? No. USB. 5 volt and ground, yeah. And that should be jeez, alright. There we go. There we go. All right. So red and black. Yeah. All right. So it's the white and green that are the data lines that I don't even need. Okie dokie. Where is my flush cutters? It's not there. We gotta hung them up. I get to use my new cool set of crimpers. Love these things. I guess I try to find ways of using these. There we go. Alright. So yeah, it's a box of these ferrule crimps. These things are fantastically awesome. If you don't have these, you should get some. Woo! These are small. I think the orange is the smallest. The only thing I wish that it had was like more of a sizing guide. We didn't really have much of anything on here. Almost done printing. Nice. Just saw which feed, One Raz? Are you talking with Tony? Come on, go in wire. Here we go. So yeah, it goes basically like that. Just slide the wire all the way through. Not always. Okay. I always try to slide it on so that just the very, very edge of some of the wires coming out the tip. That way I know I've got it fully covered down. And then just crimp it away. Get these on and I'll show you what I'm talking about. There we go. Trim at the end. There we go. So now each one's got like, it's like 3 or 4 crimps. Yeah, 3. They go all the way around the wire. Because it'll, come on. There. So it'll pinch down in a at the 4 angle like that and make a square crimp. Makes it really nice, to be honest. Very, very secure. Or at least I think so. I could be wrong. Where is my electrical tape? It is SOPOBY is what it says on there, but it does. Come on, focus. There. HSC 6-4 AWG 2310. I use wire cutter to crimp. Yeah, I love these little crimps. Just like I said, they seem to work really, really well. Plus, they give a nice piece on there to crimp it in. Let me pull up my Amazon order. I can give you a link directly to the product. It wasn't too expensive. I got the crimp and all those ferrules like together, if I remember right. Been a while, so I may be wrong, but that's what I remember. Come on, let me sign in. Thank you. First layer is live, so if you guys need to go, go. I won't hold it against you. Since this is kind of a low-key hangout, you know. Alright, 19 orders placed in the last 6 months. Still drives me nuts when these places can't, like, spell my name right. It's like I'm getting it from... You're getting it from my order. Like, how do you mess up writing my name when I give it to you? So you can do your... Alright, how do I get... Share. There it is. Come on, give me the link. You won't even let me do my own. That's hilarious. Alright. Let's see if that works. Seriously, you won't even let me send my own thing. Edit and try again. No, I'm actually using Streamlabs. Have since way back in the day. Fine, I'll send this as 2 pieces because you're being complaining. Your bot just tried to post a link and it is not a moderator. Please send your bot. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? I'm telling it to send it as me. I hate it when programs like try to think for you. Are you kidding me right now? So it won't even let it do that. I'm telling it even to send me as a streamer. Just need to reboot twice today my video. White. Huh. Alright, well the name at least sent out. So that's what I searched for. I don't know why it's not letting me send my own links. This is ridiculous. I mean, I don't even have link protection turned on. As you can see, my link for support the stream went out just fine. That is so dumb. I wonder if it's because of the whole reference link. Is that why you're having such an issue? Okay, maybe let's just try that. Take out all the reference little code to it. There we go. Alright. There's the Amazon link to the stupid crimpers. But yeah, it was pretty... I mean, it works great, like I said. I've been very pleased with it. Alright, let me... Turned off the power. Take that off now. we go. Let's see if I can, let me change it over. Oh, you won't get the video feed because the Pi is off. Duh. Alright, there we go. We have power. Alright, why aren't you starting up? Okay. Putting out too much. Says it's putting out 5.07 volts on the 5-volt line. So that should be perfect. Now that's crazy. Okay, well, as you see, I don't know if you can see the lights blinking in there, but that's from the wall charger. Just a standard 2.5 amp. So I guess you can't go to 4 amp on these Pis. That's interesting. And this is, which Pi version did I put in here? So it's a regular Pi 3B. Okay, Pi 3B max. Alright, so everything here is saying that don't adjust anything above 5.15 because at 5.25 it'll hit the kill line or the voltage protection. Everybody's talking about the volts, but is the amps too high for it? I don't know if anybody wants to chime in that knows. So that's really weird. Come on, scroll down. I love how you click on one thing and Outlook still like tries to do something different than what you asked it to. Anyway, all right. Ah, that's not what I want. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. I mean, I figured 4 amps should give it more than enough to pull the camera that does pull a lot. But you know, I always keep getting the new warnings on different pies of, okay, well, it's too much draw, not enough draw, or you know what I mean, like an under voltage or whatever. So I figured I'd just make sure that I had one that had 4 amps, and it should be plenty. So is you think the 5.07, you think that's it? Because when I hold it on it, even when it was connected with the Pi trying to power it, it didn't fluctuate at all. Stayed definitely solid right on the 4.0 or 5.07. What was I trying to find? Oh. So if anybody's got any suggestions on that. Oh no. Dropping my deburring tool. Sorry about that noise. Well, since I just saw the PayPal link pop up and I kind of remember. So over here in the top corner, if you see, gathering funds to do a Mark III clone. If you would like to help out, by all means, would love extra help. Yeah, this is the original camera that I was running on, Tony Ryan. The only thing that I was really changing is putting in the power supply instead of it being the standard phone wall charger that I've got plugged in. That's the only difference that I was really swapping to, is this new USB line to directly go off of that new 5-volt power supply. But yeah, the clone project, which the banner should be right there if you're looking at the big screen. If you'd like to donate and help out, by all means, don't feel obligated, but every little bit helps. And as soon as I have all the money together, which takes, it says it's about like right under $500 with shipping and everything. So once we hit that amount, then I'll be ordering everything and then waiting for it to come in. But of course, by then I will probably already have moved to the new location, helping out family members, so moving in with one to save me more money too, so that should be able to get filled up a lot faster. So if it doesn't fill up before then that'll definitely, I'll be able to allocate more of my funds to do that, to get it caught up quicker, and then order all the parts and then get them shipped in and all of that jazz. Come on, open up, you crazy text document. I'm still not seeing anything about the difference for a 5 volt 4 amp being too much. And that is really weird. I wonder why this thing isn't picking up some of the stuff. Anyway. Oh, so it is. Yeah, it's still up and running. It's powered by the. We'll swap over the camera feed. Come on. Do 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 do. Well, I actually haven't unplugged anything to it. Only thing I was moving was the camera, I mean, not the camera, the USB power line. Yep, so there's the camera straight, the same one that I've been using. I mean, that's the one directly plugged in. Come on, it's not good. For whatever reason, it's just this USB line coming off of the new power supply will not power it, but the light is on and it goes. I know it's hard to see in the little window, but it's the phone charger on the power strip on the back wall right here. That's what I've got powering it. So that's what I don't understand, is why that one is powering it just fine. Yeah, it's a 2.1 amp is what's powering it right now. Every now and then I get a little bit of a dip, you know, on the Pi console that it's under voltage, but it doesn't happen very often. But again, the main point of this was so that I can still use the Pi when I take it like out on a road trip or anything like that. I wanted to have Pi power and LED power, so this was kind of a good mix, but I don't know. It says on here that the Pi 3B should be able to run anywhere from 4.75 to 5.5. Unless he's talking about something else. At least that's what I'm reading. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on here. Okay, well, there's the 3B plus, but I want just the 3B. Ugh. Alright, phone. Well, that's going to be pretty hard, to be honest, to check that continuity. But I bet you that's my problem right there. Both of my orange caps came right off the wire. So it probably was loose. Loosey-goosey. Because these are really thin wires. Yep, bad crimps. Guess I didn't get it quite in as much as I thought I did. But the wire is really thin, so... Oh yeah, that's a lot better crimp. I just pulled pretty hard and that thing isn't budging at all. Yep, that one's on there good too. Okay, so it was just me. Alright, now for the live test. I guess under electrical load it was possibly being so loose it was just turning itself off. Power green. I know I said I was using a cheap USB cable so I could cut it, but apparently I used too cheap a one because now, I mean, it's getting better, but the red power light isn't staying on. So there's something else with this cable. So I guess I'll have to scrap this thought process for a while. Well, that sucks. Yeah, because the phone charger one works perfectly. That is strange. So I guess 2 sets of bad. Me doing bad crimping. Alright, well, maybe let's just kill the printer activity. Oh, excuse me. Alright. I don't know what that's stuck on. Stream labels. Okay, how about you? Alright, let's get some fusion going. And we'll log into Tinkercad and get my hot end or my part cooler for the thing, and we can kind of work on it. So that was the other thing we were going to work on anyway. Yeah, don't let it fool you that crimper set. I've used that on everything else. It's just these USB wires are really, really thin. So I'm thinking that's more of my issue than anything, is getting a good contact in it, because they're extremely thin. So I may just have to rig something else or find a thicker USB cable that I can cut into and use. Alright, come on, Fusion. I don't know why you're having so many problems. Alright. Let's tinker this, and we will get it moved over. Come on, there we go. Alright. Send to Autodesk. Yeah, open fusion. Move everything. There we go. Alright, let's swap this over. Oh, USB plug and screw connectors. I may have to just order one then. That'll be a lot easier. Alright, desktop. There we go. Alright, so I don't know why it doesn't export all my pieces, so I think I might have to end up rebuilding this whole stupid thing. Which is irritating, but you know, I don't even know what all. Oh my gosh, that is a lot of. So I considered every little thing. So yeah, this was the draft that I was doing that has the extra bar and airport. I just don't know why it's doing this. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to convert it or if I've just got to straight build from scratch. Probably just have to build from scratch. It's a little irritating. I mean, because come on, maximize, you turd. There we go. So this is what it looks like in, you know, in Tinkercad. And these are the supports and deflectors that I put all in here, you know, so that it would do what it needs to do. And I was running some tests. So this is the big triangular block that I was talking about, so that it can block a lot more of the airflow. And the fan would sit right above here. And then the nozzle and everything else takes up this whole cavity area so that it blocks it off. It's got, you know, the rounded edges, the mouthpiece. So yeah, that right here, and especially these top pieces, did not merge over. So yay me. I don't know. What do you do at this point? I mean, do you just... Do you just create brand new? Or is there an easy way to, like, turn this into a sketch and then do what I need to do? I mean... So that's just cutting away, isn't it? Oh, because it's on chamfer. My bad. Delay. Okay, well. Okay, so if anybody knows Infusion, so how do I make, like, say this body, just that, what is it, body, right now, body 7, this angular, how do I make it, like, hollow, like you would in Tinkercad to cut it out? Or do I just straight, I mean, do you just, so I don't need it to offset, I would want to push, pull, cut kind of a thing. Hmm. Hmm. I'm like such at a loss right now. Alright, well. Since we know the other thing works. Let's. Yeah, I brought my Tinkercad into Fusion. And it looks atrocious. I mean, I did that feature right there pretty easy, but I'm missing this whole top part that connects. What was hollow is now solid. I don't even have like my cutout for the airflow that flows through the whole thing. Man, this is gonna be interesting. It's a combination 4-directional part cooler for the X5ST2E, because they gave me 2 little really pitiful pieces and I didn't like it, so I wanted to change it and update it. But I built all this in Tinkercad, but then now bringing it into Autodesk, and it looks like garbage. So I'm kind of at a loss of what to do at this point. Alright, I don't need that window. You can close that. Apparently you can close that. No, I don't need that over there. Okay, where is my other part? I started to load it and then I had all kind of issues. Yeah. Not necessarily. I mean, it would have been nice to be able to do a little bit of fillets and chamfers better. But my main thing was to try to get the air ducting more fluid. Right now it's a big rectangle cutout because I couldn't figure out how to take a cylinder and make it curve that 90 degrees. So since Fusion 360 will let me do pipe and I can make a round cutout that follows the path, I was thinking of just doing that, making it follow that. That way I don't even need to have basically these support airflow deflectors that go inside the different parts to kind of round it out and make it where the airflow is going in better. I did not try that. Let's. All right. Let's see. Insert mesh. Did I save it or not? I don't even know if I saved it. No, I didn't save it. Alright, hold on, let me... Oh, alright. Group together. Go. Cylinder into a sphere into another cylinder. Thanks for making me feel like a complete moron. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Obviously, yeah, that... Jeez. See, this is why I need a group, because I go dumb on these things sometimes. Yeah, that would probably definitely solve my issue right there. Alright, well... Alright, so here we go. No, I know, Mr. Buttram. That's all right. I'm a little harsh on myself when people point out something obvious that I should have thought of. That's all right. I know you weren't trying to be mean. It's cool. But now that you got me to import it via STL, now what? Because I'm so new at Fusion, like this kind of still baffles me. I mean, I know getting these parts, I can just take caliber, convert the mesh into a brep. Uh-oh. How do you do that? Is that something on the main stuff here? Iron Cat. Right click the mesh. No. I'm not seeing a B-rep on here. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so I messed up my original wall sync mount, so here's the other one. Well, I'm waiting on Tony anyway. I'll go ahead and open this other one. So this one I fully designed. I did all of that. So that will be this piece. Like I said, I tried to adjust this other corner down at the bottom to account for that weird corner. I just haven't and actually, you know what? I need to go ahead and just yeah. I need to export it now so I can go ahead and get that printing while I'm waiting. No, I want the whole thing. Thank you. Move that out of the way. Hold on. Let's save this real quick. 3D printer. Custom job. Okay. We'll go back to the other one. Alright. Miss. Stop capturing the history. Take the little gear at the bottom right. Okay. And do not capture design history. Okay. There we go. Mesh to B-Rep. Go. Operation. New body. Alright, well I guess if it starts messing with the stream, we know why. I will hope it doesn't crash. Oh. Okay. I don't know why you're opening a different whole folder. There we go. All right. Yeah. Okay, well, it still has my hollow. So, see, I got some of the air chamber, but I know I didn't open it right for going in this bottom area across into here. That's why I was like, I need more tools. Alright, so is there any way to make it like look cleaner so it's not, you know, like, so this is one solid wall? I mean, that's what it should be. Ooh, that would be horrible to try to select every single one of those lines. I'm probably gonna have to do this after the stream. I don't know. Computer seems like it's struggling trying to do stream and this at the same time. Jeez. Alright, well, I'm going to start the print shop real quick. Ugh, I don't know what you just did. Kind of cool that S3D will let you print a step file. I didn't know it could. I thought it had to be either just G-code or STL or OBJ. That is pretty neat. Yep, got the printer on. Send this. Oh, wait. No, that's the wrong file. That's not my updated changes. Oop. Okay. Well, I'll definitely start doing a little more, I guess, if Fusion starts reacting like it's supposed to, or may have to do it after the stream. I don't know. But yeah, so I guess to toy around with the idea, you know, I thought I clicked this already. Didn't I? Could have swore I did. Oh yeah, because I put it in the custom jobs. Duh. Alright, so another idea that I've been toying around with, and I'm probably just going to start it in Fusion, but basically it's going to be a double motor mount for the X5S, because right now my motors are on either side, and so the Bowden tubes are going to the opposite ends, so you know, one's tight, one's not, and I'd rather get it just one chain so that I can kind of manage it a bit better, because I don't want to mess with the cable chain itself. So anyway, I'm trying to do like a motor mount off of one of the extrusions, put two motors side by side where they both feed up, and go, you know, it's going to be on the left side. And then that way I've got that strung up the way that I kind of want it to get everything out of the way. Jeez. But yeah. I guess my thing is, I also want it to be able to have like a mounting slot area, possibly for the dual filament runout, so you can at least mount it. My issue is going to be that by doing that, I've got to open, well, I've got a pack of 4 optical end stops that I was going to try to throw that in there instead, but obviously it makes it a little interesting to try to do that. But yeah, that's the next thing down the pipe. I mean, I've got the new Pi holder, the Pi cam holder, the kids' parts for their printer, both the frame and the parts themselves. The K280 Big Delta, the new panel board frame enclosure mount I need to make, the E2 motor mounts and the filament runout holders. And this hot end holder, I mean, got a bunch of little projects. Ugh, all while trying to learn how to do all this. It's crazy. Alright, custom jobs. There we go. Blank wall sync mount number 2. There we go. Prepare to print. Hey, Rover. Alright. Come on, load. Sometimes, man, these Pi take forever to get into the login screen. But I don't want to just turn it off because, you know, you got to have that extra little security layer just in case somebody tries to break into your network. Come on, open. There we go. Alright, connect to the printer. There we go. Has anybody had any issues with running Marlin 2.0? More specifically, I guess unless you're running it with a Delta, it wouldn't be the same, but I'm having an odd issue now of it forgets when you go to home to use Z as the direction, and it still tries to like home only X or only Y first. And so I'll get, like at the end of a print job is where I notice it. I've got it to auto home at the very end of the print, so it just moves it out of the way and I don't have to worry about it. But every now and then, and it's becoming almost like every job, it's starting to do the, it forgets, you know, to home. It still tries to like home only X. Sorry. It, instead of just lifting all the way up, it'll either go to X or Y and then slam into the tower, and then that's it. Then it'll keep going until it errors out and then goes, you know, gives me the homing failed, firmware stop, blah blah blah, and then I can't do anything until it kind of fixes itself. And it's very, very irritating. Again, it doesn't do it all the time, but it is getting quite a bit more. You know what? You just made me think of another open task I gotta do. So the K280 needs a new hot end cooler, or part cooler as well, because it uses, I don't want to change out to the one like everybody is showing, you know, the big huge 5015 radial fan. I want to use the stock fan, the little 4010 fan, but it only blows from the back side. So I want to try to put like almost like a modular, like either half circle, 2-point like a Mistral, or full circle. I don't really care, but the problem is it needs to be centered in the radial fan, and all the ones that I've found are like off to one side, so it never lines up. All right, you going to bed? All right, love you guys. Sorry. All right. Okay. Okay. I got 2 others. Weirdo. Love you, baby. No, we didn't. We already cleaned it. I'll have to fix it in just a minute. Shh. I will help in a minute. All right. Love you, Bubba. All right. Good night. Did you? Huh? Okay. Kids. Well, like I said, that's the only quirk that I've run into the Marlin 2.0, and it only seems to be on the Delta right now, because I've got 2.0 running on the E10 when the camera is not messing up or the auto bed level sensor's not messing up. But that's me. It's not the firmware doing it, because I didn't mount it right, so I got a little bit too much floppiness. But anyway, under 2.0, I haven't had an issue with it. And I was running 2.0 on the Tronxy before I converted over to the E2. So it's not like Cartesians are having the issue, but it seems like the Deltas are having an issue. So it's really weird. Alright, K280 part cooler is on my list. Well, I wonder why this thing is not updating, but oh well. Alright, let's tell it to print. Oop, I messed up the camera. There we go. Hey, it's Naked Designs. Sorry, I watch Walter's channel too much. That testing filament never works that great. A little wispy at the beginning, but you know, after that it works pretty decent. Okay. Thank you for that, Rover. But yeah, NAC 3D Designs. How's it going? Alright, so we'll let that print. You know, the first time that actually Walter started picking on you with that, at first I was like, how do you mess that up? It says NAC 3D, like it's clear as day. And then, I don't know, I looked at something, came back, I looked at it, and it looked a little fuzzy on my screen. And then I was like, oh, okay, duh, that's where he's getting the joke from. I don't know, the very first time I saw it, it completely, like, blew past me. I think I was being a little too serious with everybody's names. But it's been kind of a, I guess, semi-humorous, long-running joke, you know? Ooh, nice! That's your new belt printer, right? The White Knight? Am I thinking of the right one? awesome. Are you gonna be able to have like a working model to take to Murph? Because if you do, I definitely want to see that. That'd be something cool that, like, yes. Because I want to show it off to the kids too, to show them that, you know, other people are coming up with different than just like the standard designs that they've seen even here. Because they absolutely love the Deltas. And they're really excited about getting their own printed printer. It's going to be a Core, like the Tech 2C Core XY based. 2 going to Murph? Awesome. Yeah, the kids are going to be really excited, probably, hopefully, almost as much as me. Because I wanted to also do a hang printer, but I don't have enough room in this little cubby hole to even close to get to that. So if I do a hang printer, just to say that I did and at least play with it, I'd have to wait till I get to a house, which is still a little bit off because we got some other debts, you know, and stuff we got to pay for. So
Metal Knight Giant has the prototype now and is doing his best to break it, find all the issues.
now, is this going to be a production kit, or is it going to be more rep rap style of here's the BOM and here's the files that you need and then just go build it yourself kind of a thing? Oh, I doubt he'll do one for a giveaway, but yeah, that would be awesome too. I'd love to work on a whole new type of printer. I think that'd be sweet. I mean, mainly because I can get the kids directly into doing all this stuff. Well, I mean, I haven't even fully opened up my Alien box for this month to get the project out to get them doing stuff. Sweet. Open source. I love open source. I can't afford open source a lot of the times, but I love open source. I mean, the Mark III clone. That's the open source one that what's his name? Shane Fugatech. That's the one that he did. And I love that kit. I mean, that is the closest to the true thing as a clone, and you do all of it. Like, I think that is pretty cool. Plus, it's like half the price, just to say that like I can test stuff on it and see how well it worked, and then, you know, later on actually buy the real thing. I mean, I think that would be pretty cool too. Well, what about doing something like, what is it? Isn't it the rail core that's like that? That it's technically it is an open source and you can download and source all the pieces. They got all the BOM and everything. But, or you could also buy a pre-made assembled kit. I mean, if that's the case, you could do that. Then you can hit it on both sides, or it open source and kit design. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Speaking of which, let me... I don't know if I think I'd already, what you call it? God, I can't even talk tonight or think very well. I think I already subscribed to you. If not, I definitely will, so I can make sure... anything you post on it, then I can get it. Huh. So I've watched a few of your videos, but apparently I never actually hit subscribe. Well, guess what? Bam, I am subscribed. Yes, send me all notifications for this channel. There we go. Alright. There we go. I could have swore I already subscribed to you because I was already watching a couple of your other videos. I don't know. YouTube probably forgot too. Hey, trolling. Alright, so if you're wondering, if you're just joining or whatever, what's on the printer right now is an updated version of this that I designed. Because I didn't realize that one corner is not as even as all the other three corners, so I can't lock my wall design in. So I'm having it print the updated version now, and I mean it sits so that you can, instead of spending the what $10 at Amazon, now you can just print one.
I decide to go with company to produce kits. First kits will probably be rollers, extrusions, a belt, hardware, and you'll just need to print the pieces.
You know, off the top of my head, you could almost do like beginner kit that has everything. Basically, they unbox it and have everything already either pre-built, pre-assembled, or just every part that they could possibly need. Then make your tinkerer kit that has everything but the few of the, like if it only needs like a few printed pieces, then you can do like that, and then do like hardcore, tinkerer that has the bare minimal, like maybe just the electronics and not even belts. You know what I mean? Like maybe just like the hardest parts that would be to source and to make sure you got the right thing, and then just have everything else like, well, here's the rest of the BOM and here's all the stuff that you print, and then just buy like the hardest part of the kit. I mean, you can make it almost like a 3-tier level thing. I don't know. Oh, you're doing a bus too? Man, I guess I gotta catch up on some videos now that I figured out I wasn't subscribed. Alright, so that face thing you were talking about, God, my brain is like gone tonight. I apologize. Tony, jeez. I'm slowly getting it, but yeah, it's... I think streaming and doing Fusion at the same time is just... it's killing it right now. Oh, no videos on the bus? Eh. So is it going to be just like a mobile show-off kind of makerspace thing? Is that basically what it is? Well, hell, then let me double check my Twitter then, too. Search Mac 3D Nope. Why when I hit N you put a B? Next 3D design. Yeah, it says I'm following you. I don't know why. Oh, that's cool looking. But those chairs and the couch are making it more look like a lounge space. Yeah, Tony, I'm thinking based off of the performance and based off of what, hey, no problem. Based off of what I also want to change on there, yeah, I'm probably just gonna design it completely. I may just tell it to take a picture and then use that as the, the underline like I did with the blink, this little blink camera, and then, at least get my initial trace, then do a side profile picture, make sure I got like some of those things so it's generally, or, as close as I can. Well, no, you know what? I'd probably get a lot more accurate just doing it all from scratch. So I guess since looking at it, has anybody got some side suggestions while I'm going to be redesigning it anyway? Like I said, the main purpose is because they only have these two little tiny duck pieces with a weird square hole, and they're like on the, like the tops of them are actually the cut pieces, and I'm showing you, I'm moving on the screen, and you can't see anything. Funny. Okay, so we will do a Control Z, move those parts out of there. Okay, take all of that, ungroup again. Alright, so this top part right here is actually the imported STL of the factory cooler that they put in, which, like, the angle is just ridiculous. It's so far away that it doesn't actually feel like it cools much of anything. And then I tried, though it's not going to show it here very well. Let's see if I can maybe make that a whole, there you go. So I tried to put two triangular pathways so that as the air comes down, it's kind of naturally forced in the two directions. And then have the open hole chamber in here. What's up, Sean? To push it all the way through. We'll hide that. Hold that. Yeah. Oh, that's why the inner chamber got lost, I think. No, it's there. Is it? I think my inner hole chamber got messed up. Anyway. So that, like, it comes down the back angle, comes across here, and it has the big triangle piece right here in the middle, so that both air directions are funneled naturally to go out and cool from this side. And then adding this whole back piece, it extends past, that way, it'll blow obviously from there. And then I've also got a small triangle. Well, no, I don't have the triangle cut out here because it was so hard to get it. But essentially it's to help with the air pressure coming from both sides to force it out the back end as well. So you get 3 to 4 directional part cooling is the idea. So I'm open to suggestions. Anything, you know, that would be a little better. Like I said, with it printed all the way. Where did I put it? Oh, it's on there. When I printed it, you know, like I said, you can still see the whole nozzle tip coming out like it's on the screen right now. The silicone stock peaks below it and the tip below it. So, and this is all factory, and since it's got all that stuff, I was trying to make some piece that you could almost literally just print this on any printer and then hook it up to your machine, and then awesome, you know? It'd be a lot better than the factory cooler. And maybe if I can get it designed well enough, maybe I can convince Trunksy to start mass producing these and just include that with their printer, so that it's already got some of the big complaints that people would have already pre-taken care of, you know? Since instead of just printing 2 of these little crappy blowers, then, you know. And like I said, the main change that I'm trying to do in Fusion side is to help me when I'm trying to scale the parts so that they line up the way that they're supposed to. Because if I make one change in Tinkercad, it's taking me, like, the way I had to build to get the air chamber to work right, it's taking me forever to get the stuff lined up. Oh, okay, so just leave the sketch there and just start, or put it in sketch mode and just start drawing the lines everywhere I need them to basically rebuild the whole thing? Hey, no problem, Carl. Have a good night. All right, Tony. No problem. Hey, Sholm, I don't know if I got to show you. You inspired this part. Oh man, I'm not even showing my desktop. There. You inspired this, buddy. Cause look. There's the picture from Amazon. You help inspire me to actually, like, that's why I was wondering if it was hard to do it. And you're right, it does take a little bit of time. I don't know if you can see, but the original went through 7 iterations, and I jacked it up so bad trying to make some of my edits that I had to roll it back like 4 versions, save that as a new one, and then make my changes again, and then I was able to fix what I messed up. But yeah, this is inspired by you, Sean. Watching you and the boys, like, go from a picture to an object, like, that was just outstanding. So that really inspired me to, you know, do this. So that's actually what's on the printer right now, printing. Hopefully I got all my dimensions right, because, I mean, I've already printed it out once. But, yeah, there was some issues that I didn't take into account. Cool, Tony. So, yeah, I'll try that. Maybe right after the stream, start sketching over top of it, since it's already in now. And then, I guess just delete out those body pieces after I get the sketch done. And that way it doesn't conflict. And then I should hopefully be alright. Very true. You do have wise words. Yes, that is also true. And it's getting better. Like I said, I mean, this is technically not version 2. This would be version 9. So, but it's cool. I mean, I'm having fun. I'm learning. I don't know if I'll ever be able to really catch up to you, but now I've got something that I can maybe teach the boys how to use, because they're already starting to use Tinkercad really well. They surpassed me on that. Well, they did until I started working on the hot end. But now doing Fusion, I mean, yeah, it's getting pretty cool. I knew there was something else that I was going to do, and now I can't remember what it was. Well, so by next Saturday, I should have the frame enclosure for the K280. I should have that mounted. That's the plan, at least. I've already got the backer board that I'm going to use. I just got to throw together a quick mount, because the one that I already have from somebody else is huge, and it takes, like, even on really crappy layer settings, which, I mean, you could probably see, I mean, it's just horrible, still takes like 2.5 hours to print, and that's ridiculous. I mean, you should be able to do like half of this, but it's smooth on this side, and I want to put the little extrusion guideline so that you can put your T slot nut and it won't wiggle, you know, by just having one. But I want to redesign this a little bit, and then Conan sword tomorrow. Awesome. But yeah, so I just got to throw together a new mount real quick, and then run through the few tests to make sure that it holds like I want it to, and then I can publish that, and also mount it. Get the boards cut the way I want them, mount it up, and then I should be able to start printing the long extrusion pieces that I want for the boys without having it rock and messing it up. Because I did part of their 2020 extrusion bar, but the very, very top started, it's probably not going to focus very well. Here, let me go to the, I don't know if you can see, it started wobbling a little bit. Got some layer shifts, but then the top started, let's see, yeah, it started shifting so bad that it wasn't even melting it correctly. And I mean, I had it kind of slow. I mean, the bottom whole half of it, I mean, look at that. I mean, it was dead on for a long, good height. And then, there it goes. It's auto-focusing. There it goes. So right about in here, it started doing a weird segmented layer shift. And I mean, it goes all the way up and it gets worse. But yeah, I think, and I've pretty much figured out, like, on the low, it's okay. But once you reach, it's about 170 millimeters, then the frame at the top starts twisting just enough that you start getting some weird inconsistencies. So I got those two things that, you know, once I get that frame half enclosure wrapped around it, then it should be doing a lot better. So all the small parts it does fine. It actually, I printed all of the camera mount for both printers. Some of the pieces for the E10, all the other part. I mean, this printer has printed all of its own upgrade pieces, and all of them turned out fantastic. I mean, this was on it. Oh, come on. I mean, look at those layer. That's the same exact layer height. But look at how smooth that came out. I mean, even the bottom part. Got a little bit of stringy, but not, I mean, not a whole lot. I mean, right, other than that, it came out fantastic. Same, it's not the same filament, but, I mean, that's what I was saying. Like, the lower height, it did decent. But once you get that upper part, other than that, I love that printer. It does really well even with the stock cooler, but I have noticed that there's sometimes that stock cooler is just not able to handle it. But I don't know what in the world. I did my you can't really see it in the corner here. The filament dryer, the extension piece right there is all PETG. And so I went to print a new one on the K280, and as you can see, I mean, let's see, which is the, okay, this is the direction it was supposed to be printing. Yeah. So it printed the bottom ring just fine. It has this lip, the bottom part, that's supposed to be there. But then everything else from up there, I mean, it did this weird oblong shift. Like, I don't know what that was, and that was only going at 40 millimeters a second. So, yeah. Plus some of the issue that I've also found that I thought I took care of but didn't, because I do have the bed sitting directly on the frame. I didn't mount it. I just set it on there. So on some of the tall objects, the bed, the glass is mounted to the bed, but the whole bed shifts just a little bit because of that metal on metal piece. So I gotta drop the screws in there to get it on there. "3D Print General has a video on how to do it in Cura." Alright, let me pull that up. 3D print. Alright, do you have an idea of like what the title would be? Yeah, because I don't use Cura. I use Simplified 3D. Kind of have for the last like 2 years. Every now and then I probably should still use, because I like the tree supports. I did use that once. Cool. I will patiently wait. Yeah, that one looks nice. The cost though is not looking that nice, but you know, if the quality is there, I guess that's, I mean, it would probably be worth it. The K280, I mean, even though it does have some twisting flaws, and Predator kind of wouldn't because of how thick the extrusions are, but it's a 280 by 600. Oh, combining parts and Cura. Okay. Combining parts and Cura. Parts on Cura. 2 months ago. 7-minute video. Got it. Got it in the queue. So right after this, I'll be watching that. Cool. But yeah, this K280 was only, it's listed at $350, if I remember right. I mean, I initially paid $350 for it, and then if everybody knows the story by now, because I've told it quite a few times, even earlier on this segment, mine ended up being free, but still. CR10S. Well, how big you want? Like just a standard brick? I mean, I'll print you. I got 4 printers. I'll put 1 brick on each and then mail them all to you if you want. You get 4 different brick colors, but you know. I'll send them to you. No problem. Well, I say no problem. Depending on where you're wanting them shipped to. Because, yeah, I didn't tell you guys, but the giveaway winner that we last recently did, Miss Jessica Ryan, yeah. I didn't realize she was in the UK, so, yeah, that shipping was a beast. Had to fight with 4 companies that all lied to me about their prices online versus when I got into the store and got ready to pay for it. So that wasn't a lot of fun. So yeah, now I know I need to unfortunately limit my giveaway prizes to US only, unless I'm going to like do a direct from Amazon ship kind of a thing that, you know, man. Yeah, I know, Show Me told me. I thought I'd mentioned it beforehand, but then, you know, by the time it was like a day or 2 later after the stream, when she sent me her address, that's when I realized that I had forgot to say anything. And I was like, ah, crap. But, oh well. She did win fair and square, and I wasn't going to bow out and say, hey, it's just too expensive, you know, to just cancel the giveaway. She won fair and square, so I figured a way to do it where it didn't break the bank, but yeah. Yeah, I heard about that. And it's crazy because, like, the little power supply that I just got, I mean, from China, I spent a grand total of $9 to ship it here. Yeah, it took a month. But the stupid thing was like $7 by itself. So it means I paid like just under $2 to get it shipped. I mean, that's ridiculous that I can spend that little, but me turning around and sending anything out. I mean, because originally, when I priced it, FedEx even said on their website and everything, and I printed it out, it was only going to cost me, what, $25 to ship it. So I was like, oh, that's not too bad. So I went into the store, had it boxed, everything that I gave them. He went to ring it up and he was like, all right, $159. I said, you got to be out your damn mind. I said, what about this sheet of paper here that says $25? Well, I don't know where you got that from. I'm putting it straight in the computer and this is what it says. I was like, well, you need to adjust it. You need to give me my $125 discount. He said, no, you can leave the store. I said, how are you going to give me something from corporate that says that and then turn around and charge me $125 more on the same exact system with all the same details, the same start and end address? I mean, I don't get how they can do that. So I worked out a different deal with her, and we got it all taken care of. So, like I said, she's still got taken care of. She's still the winner. But here's what she won. I couldn't send that one. So, I guess we can do another giveaway for a local U.S. winner here sometime soon. I don't know, we're at 114. Maybe we should do it at 200. We could do another giveaway. Maybe even a double giveaway. I don't know. I know I talked about it before, but might have to. Jeez, $40 in shipping just for a 3D pen? Man, the United States Postal Services, all of them, man, they are in it to make a profit. Holy crap. That is like just ridiculous. Let's still print. Let's get a close-up of that. I know you probably don't want to see my face this whole time. Get a close-up on the print. There we go. Nice. Thanks, Munraz. Appreciate it. Now, just in case you were wondering, I know you mostly all are all subscribed probably anyway. Just don't print them in the house. We'll tilt in the summer. True. Unless you get HTP PLA or you anneal it a little bit. I don't know. You make just even getting the alien box, I had to wait an extra day because they took 12.5 hours to figure out that one local station, 15-minute drive for me, couldn't move the box from there up 10 minutes up the road to my local city postal office so that they could deliver it in time. I had to wait another whole day because they couldn't figure it out for over 12 hours. So I don't know about U.S. Postal Service being the best, but yeah, just in case you were wanting to know, the automatic thank you only works if you allow in your YouTube thing to share your subscriptions. If you tell it private everything, like nobody knows that you subscribe to anyone. They just see their numbers increase, but they don't get notified. Yes, dear. Oh, okay. I can't think of anything that I need. Oh, do bring back some milk though, because we don't have enough for me to use some of my graham cookies. Alrighty, love you.
I don't Kazakhstan, but yeah, but see, you're using at that point if you're talking about. Oh, did my thing not play the actual? Here, let me do my there. That's what it should have done for you there. That's all I have is a little YouTube-y thingy, and it leaves my name up there. Even though I hit test, that's hilarious. Anyway, but yeah, OneRaz, thank you again. Let's see. Make sure this is a safe link. You try shipping something out of Kazakhstan. Well, but I mean, aren't you using the APO addressing by them? Postal Illuminati. "46 years. Yeah, that's actually a pretty. That is a very true statement there, Mickey. I totally, completely agree that there's a postal Illuminati. Of course, then again, there's a lot of things that the government does that is just shady as all get out. And nothing that us little commoners can do about it. It's just like they yanked 2/3 of my my tax refund to pay off VA student loan debt. That didn't need to. Like, I was already in talks with them because, you know, you drop a class, they charge you for the whole class no matter how long you took it. So you know, it's the government. Illuminati. There's just so much government corruption at a lot of levels. It's just unreal. But, I mean, I know it can be worse in other countries too, so it's not like I'm trying to say overthrow the government or anything like that, but it just... Anyway, back to 3D printing. Ooh, I know a topic right before we leave. Have you guys heard about the whole push that some agencies are trying to somehow figure out a way of everything that your printer prints out and log it into a like a Homeland Security type database, so they could figure out if you printed anything illegal, firearms, parts to bombs, stuff like that, is right now the scope of it. But they're saying that they're trying to figure out how they could do that. Wow. I don't really like to talk about politics per se, and especially like an open forum like this, but I would agree with you there, Sean. The alternative that could have been elected in, I think people would have been shocked at how crazy it would have really have gotten. This little stuff that he's doing, I'm not saying that I agree 100% with what he's doing either, but the alternative, I guarantee you, would have been worse. So, you know, it is one of those things. But anyway, to end on a lighter note, again, we got that printing. I've got like a list of stuff that I've got to do. I've got these. Hopefully I'm going to start working on these actually before I do any of the other stuff, because I want to finish this enclosure and show it off next weekend. So, appreciate it, Sean. So yeah, stay tuned. We're going to do more stuff. I'm going to try, I still got my Alien 3D box video. I'm going to try to record partly tomorrow, hopefully release tomorrow. I got the kids' projects that they want to do, a lithophane they still owe, this project that they want to record. So those videos will be coming out soon on their channel. And then we're going to get rocking and rolling, hopefully here real soon, on knocking out all the kids' printer parts. I'm about to put a plate of them on this, get that going overnight. And yeah, if you guys want a kind of a after party show hangout, jump over to Shulm's stream. They'll be doing a tasty beverage night, so definitely check it out. There's a lot of interesting topics to say. It's always a good fun, you know. So, well, links are down below, always on every stream. Remind you guys how to follow me, how to donate to the project if you would like. Don't feel obligated. Just get stuff done faster. Turn around, help me do other giveaways. So if we can bump up the subscriber stream, we'll definitely be able to do some more stuff. And hopefully we'll see the kids on here a little bit more. So it's kind of a weird time because they only get the first hour before they go to bed, really. Tonight was a little bit of an exception, but yeah. Other than that, thanks a bunch, and we will see everybody next Saturday, same time, same place. Have fun. Good night.